The fall into darkness feels endless as Ateş, Mecran, and Sabri plunge deeper into the unknown chamber, their bodies bracing against the violent descent while the observer's presence surrounds them from every direction. Not visible, but undeniably there. Watching, calculating, evolving, and as they finally hit the ground with a heavy impact, the silence that follows is even more terrifying than the fall itself. A silence so complete it feels artificial, as if sound itself has been removed, and slowly, faint lights begin to glow beneath their feet, revealing a vast circular arena unlike anything they have seen before, a place that doesn't feel physical but constructed, designed specifically for one purpose. And as Ateş stands up, steady despite the impact, his eyes immediately scan the environment, recognizing patterns, structures, logic behind the design. While Mecran struggles to process what she's seeing, and Sabri panics as his devices fail completely, showing no signal, no system. Access, nothing, confirming that they are now fully inside the observer's domain, cut off from everything, and then, without warning, the voice returns clearer, stronger, no distortion this time. Almost human, saying, "Final engagement initiated," sending a chill through the air as the arena lights up fully, revealing multiple pathways, shifting platforms, and moving structures, all designed to change in real time, reacting to their movements, their decisions, their fear, and Ateş immediately understands that this is not just a battlefield but a living system, one that adapts instantly, forcing them into a situation where every step is both a choice and a risk. And as Mecran looks at him, waiting for direction, Ateş speaks with calm intensity. "This is it. No more tests. No more observation. This is where it decides if we're worth understanding or eliminating," while Sabri, still shaken, asks the question no one wants to answer. "And if we fail?" And Ateş, without hesitation, "Subtitl." As the arena shifts violently, forcing the team apart, Ateş lands on a moving platform that begins to rotate and rise unpredictably, while Mecran is pushed into a narrow corridor of shifting walls and Sabri is left isolated on a collapsing grid of unstable panels, each second bringing new danger, and instantly the observer adapts, analyzing their separation and turning it into an advantage. As the environment around each of them changes based on their behavior, testing them individually now, instead of as a team, and Ateş quickly realizes that this phase is designed to break their coordination, forcing them to act alone under pressure, while a voice echoes around him. Individual evaluation initiated, confirming his fear that the system is now judging them separately, and without wasting a second, Ateş begins moving against the pattern, jumping between platforms not in the obvious direction, but in unpredictable paths, forcing the system to recalculate constantly, while in another section Mecran faces walls that close in with precise timing, trying to trap her, but instead of escaping directly, she pauses, studies the rhythm, and then deliberately disrupts it, causing the system to hesitate for a fraction of a second, just enough for her to break through. And meanwhile, Sabri struggles the most, his panels collapsing beneath his feet as the system pressures him into panic, knowing he is the weakest link, feeding on his fear. But just as he begins to lose control, Ateş's earlier words echo in his mind. "Imperfection is our strength," and suddenly Sabri stops running, stops reacting, and instead makes a completely irrational move, stepping onto a panel that should collapse. But the system, unable to predict this illogical action in time, fails to respond instantly, giving him a chance to stabilize himself. And in that moment, the observer pauses again, as if recalculating something deeper, while the voice returns, slightly altered, deviation increasing, showing that as the shifting arena begins to stabilize, the separate paths slowly reconnect, pulling Ateş, Mecran, and Sabri back toward a central platform. But the reunion brings no relief, only a heavier silence, as if the observer itself is focusing all its attention on them at once. And the moment they step onto the same ground again, the environment changes instantly, forming a closed circular space with no visible exits, trapping them together. while the voice echoes again, deeper and more precise. Collective evaluation initiated, signaling that the system is no longer testing them individually, but as a unit, and suddenly the space around them fills with projections. Not random illusions this time, but highly targeted scenarios, showing moments of betrayal, failure, and loss, each one designed to break their trust in each other, as Mecran sees a version of Ateş abandoning her. Sabri sees himself being sacrificed by the team, and Ateş sees both of them turning against him, and for a brief moment, doubt creeps in, subtle but dangerous, exactly what the system wants, but Ateş reacts instantly, stepping forward and breaking the silence, saying, "Don't react to what you see. It's not testing reality, it's testing belief," forcing Mecran and Sabri to refocus, while the projections intensify, voices overlapping, emotions rising, pushing them toward panic and division. And then suddenly the observer takes it further, creating a perfect simulation where one of them must be sacrificed to allow the others to survive, presenting it as the most logical outcome, and Sabri freezes, unable to process the choice, while Mecran looks at Ateş, waiting for a decision, but Ateş refuses to play along, his voice sharp and controlled as he says, "We don't follow your logic," rejecting the scenario entirely, which causes the system to glitch violently, as if struggling to process a refusal of optimal decision-making. And in that moment, Ateş makes a bold move, stepping directly into the center of T. As the observer declares the conclusion inconclusive, the entire arena begins to tremble violently, the ground beneath them cracking as layers of the environment peel away, revealing something deeper, something hidden beneath all the tests and simulations. And slowly, from the collapsing structures, a massive core emerges at the center, glowing, pulsing, alive with shifting data streams. The true heart of the observer system, no longer hiding behind illusions, and for the first time, the voice speaks without control or calculation, but with something close to urgency, understanding incomplete, initiating direct resolution, as the core activates and sends out waves of energy that distort reality itself, forcing Ateş, Mecran, and Sabri to struggle just to stand, while the space around them begins rewriting in real time, creating impossible physics, shifting gravity, and bending perception, turning the battlefield into pure chaos. And Ateş immediately realizes that this is no longer a test. It is the system's final attempt to resolve what it cannot understand by forcing an outcome. While Mecran fights to maintain balance, and Sabri desperately tries to access anything